Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We have a double interview show. 2 interviews, 1 show. Been a little while since we've done an interview, a couple weeks maybe, but now we're just coming back with 2. You never know what the fuck you're going to get with Foreplay. We got myself, Frankie, Trent, and then we get Bubba Watson, and we got Matt Every. 2 completely different people, 2 completely different topics of discussion among the 2 of them. Bubba has a book out, Up and Down is what it's called. We get into mental health in the book, and Bubba and winning the Masters and going to Knicks games. And then Matt Every just came in from surfing and is talking about how he sucks at golf now, so he's going to get into TV, and how that's one of the main requirements, and how he's got a good personality, thinks he'll be great at TV. Yeah, he's a 2-time PGA Tour winner. So you get totally do 2 totally different interviews, 2 fantastic interviews. And I like both these guys a lot, gentlemen.
Yeah, really good mix. Having Bubba in here was, I know we do a lot of cool things with this show and on this show and because of this show. Having Bubba Watson in the building is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was pretty starstruck, if we're going to be honest. We've talked to him already, but like when we talked to him, it was obviously over Zoom or whatever we were using at the time. And seeing him in here, just being inches away from Bubba Watson, 2-time Masters fucking champion, was very strange to me.
Right, like at one point we were sitting in here waiting, and then it's that moment where you're like, oh man, Bubba Watson's about to walk into this room. And then he does, and he was super cool and super open, and his book, obviously, he's promoting that, and he was just great.
And I also think we do something, when we do a regular podcast, it's just us shooting the shit, and I think obviously there's a crowd for that. And then when we do interviews, it's completely different. When they're in studio like that, it almost feels like a mix of both, where they just join the conversation. Like we're talking about the Knicks game last night, and we were talking about him being a Georgia fan, all that stuff, and going to Georgia. Like, it's just different as opposed to like just being back in New York City and having people here and not over the Zooms and over the internet. And it's just so much better being able to talk to people, right? Like, didn't it feel just so much more personable this time, where you're actually able to like see him answer you, and you can see if something mattered to him, he would almost like close his, like, you were in the mix with Bubba. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and we've obviously been doing Zoom podcasts for a while now, and because of the pandemic, and now we've got different people in different parts of the country. But then, yeah, when you have somebody sitting next to you, it is different. The dynamic is definitely different. I agree.
Bubba, too. Bubba is a big name. Bubba's got star power. You go to a PGA Tour event, and there's certain groups that are coming up over the next hour and a half. You got groups coming up. You see Bubba Watson's coming through. You stick around for Bubba Watson.
He's got that pink driver. He's got the visor, which Frankie wore during the Kevin Kisner match.
Hits giant hooks. He hits huge cut shots. He's won the Masters twice. He's got buttons all the way up to the tee. He's just Bubba fucking Watson. Like, he's got that guy. That guy will play in the Masters tournament until he dies. Like, he's Bubba Watson. He's at the Champions Dinner. He's standing next to Tiger at the Champions Dinner at Augusta. I mean,
he will play, and he talks about it in the interview, but he'll play in the Masters just to try to make Rory not win the Masters.
That was awesome.
That was a very funny thing for him to say. He's like, I don't want him to get that one. I want to try to stave off Rory McIlroy for as long as I can. It was just a really good interview. It was really cool to talk to him and have him in the studio. And then Matt Every. You'll hear, but he just came in hot, great personality, funny guy, good-looking guy, as Frankie can attest to. And I think people are going to like both interviews. You said that you thought he was good-looking.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
He's got good hair.
It became a focal point of the 2 of yours interaction.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude. I mean, I'm always going to let people know that.
Good-looking and confident.
Super confident.
Yeah.
I used the word cocky. He didn't like that.
I think because he knows that he's cocky.
Oh.
He also actually said, I hate the word cocky, I think, right after you said it.
And then,
because
prior to that, he said, I'm good at everything. So then I said, so you're a little bit cocky.
Right. He doesn't like the word cocky because people have used that word to describe him his entire life, where he takes it in a way where it's like, yeah, you guys are saying that I'm just really, really confident, which he is. He's a very confident person.
There's a fine line between cockiness and confident. I think when you end up succeeding and being like the thing that you always said you were going to be, like he eventually did, then that's just confidence that whole time.
It's earned.
Right. There's a lot of guys who are cocky out there in the world, and it's not earned. It was given, or maybe like it was taken.
Or it's delusion.
Or it's delusion.
Not Matt Every.
A word I really like to use is Owens. Okay. Owens Mixers, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, because it's non-alcoholic. That's why you can drink it if you're
you could put it in a sippy cup.
Absolutely.
if you want it.
Almost kind of comes in a little sipping cup. This little 8-ouncer. This guy. Owen's great. All right, they're one of our best friends. The whole crew over there has been great to work with for a year and a half now. So much so that we decided to make our own drink that I'm sure you've heard of now. Cute little can, pour it in with vodka, and you have yourself a fantastic cocktail. A bunch of other mixers that they make as well. Margarita one's big now, and they've sort of spread out outside of just Foreplay. They do a lot of the Chicks in the Office stuff, which Trent is a part of as well. So they got their, Owen's got their prints all over what we're doing here at this show, at this company, and they're big supporters of us. So yeah, it's owensmixers.com. All right, they got the store locator. Find where you can get it. Hop in your car, go pick it up, bring it back, throw it in the fridge. When you're ready to make a cocktail, you pour it in with whatever liquor your favorite liquor is. Pair it right up and make an awesome drink, whether it's margarita, grapefruit and lime, mint, cucumber and lime, all kinds of good stuff. So, and then you can also use Amazon second day shipping, and you can use GoPuff same day shipping. So there's all kinds of options to get Owens. Enjoy it. Thank you to Owens. All right, boys, without further ado, here is Bubba Watson. All right, folks, we're joined for the third time, I believe it is. We've been for 2 or 3 years now. We've had some great conversations, interactions, videos with Bubba Watson. Now you're coming to our show for the first time as a author. You got your own book out. You're doing a book tour. What's it like doing a book tour?
It's amazing, man. Anytime you can do a tour in New York and hit all the spots, I guess you did something well, because if you did something really bad, nobody'd want you. But so yeah, no, it's fun. It's always fun, and trying to help at least one person with the book. It's helping me for sure to voice it and get it out. But hopefully we can help at least one person with the book, and then it'll be a great thing.
And you're actually in studio with us in New York City.
Exactly.
How's it? How's the trip around New York been? I know you've been all over today.
Yeah, it's been good. Everybody has different questions, so it's been fun. This morning, today's show is it's live, and I feel weird, because I don't want to mess anything up. Here, I don't care about so much. What? Oh, I didn't say that.
That's totally fair.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, that one's a stretch. You got to get there so early. They got to make sure everything's lined up, and so that's the scary one always to start in something like that.
What time you got to get up to get onto the Today Show?
Well, for me, it's early. I think I got up at 7 today.
That is early.
That's early.
Exactly. But I went to the Knicks game last night, so I think we're about 20. I think I keep saying 25, but I think we were 26 blocks away. So I walked there and walked back from the game, and so yeah, it was cool. It's always cool. It's always lit up and Times Square. It's just cool because I'm not around it that much. So
yeah. Third quarter was a nightmare last night in the Knicks game.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Not that I'm a coach, but he scored 18 points in the first quarter.
Yep, Julius.
Yeah, and then he just hung out.
It's crazy.
How many points did Knicks score in the third quarter?
Oh, dude, they got outscored by 16 points in the third.
I saw it was like 37-9 or something.
38 to 22 in the third quarter. I just couldn't believe. You just threw the game away. Coming out of the locker room after halftime, you should be juiced up. Your team's 5-1. You're the best team in the league right now. All of a sudden, you come out in the third quarter and lay a dud like that. That's insane. New York City's rocking though, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't cool?
But here's the thing though. It was unbelievable. But the other team, it's like just the air went out. The other team started hitting shots, and they started missing. I mean, it's kind of like my golf. It just went down quick. You're like, after 4 holes, you're like, what just happened? And so, yeah, it's wild.
In golf, you can see how that could happen more often than not because it's a singular guy. Isn't it always stunning to you, especially when you see a team do that, right? Like you got 5 guys on the court. Someone's got to step up at some point.
Right, but I'll be dead honest with you. I saw 3 missed calls, and when I say missed calls, a ball went off somebody else, and they gave it to the other team.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw that a couple times. I was sitting by John Starks, and so we could see it, and then when they showed it on Jumbotron, you can see it again, right? And so there was just it's so how the momentum changes on a call, and that's why I love the game of golf, because it's all the same penalty.
Yeah.
If me and you hit it in the water, it's a pentopenalty. There's no referee that says, hey, I think this might have been a penalty.
Right.
And so that's where I chose golf over anything else because of that. But I saw that where the momentum just switched, right? Where it's like, no, that's not. And then they still gave it to the other team.
Floor seats last night?
Always. What?
Did they throw you on the Jumbotron?
Come on, you're Bubba Watson.
No, man, there was actual celebrities there.
No Jumbotron shot?
No, there was actually celebrities there, so I wasn't.
I think you would have gotten a pop.
I think you would have.
Yeah, I mean,
Spike Lee, Bubba Watson.
Definitely.
Come on.
Chris Rock,
Definitely.
Tracy Morgan.
Who was all? Were they there?
Yes, there was a couple of fighters were there, a boxer and UFC champion who's going to be there Saturday. I guess the fight's Saturday here, Madison Square Garden.
That's right.
And then Chris Rock, Tracy Morgan, Fat Joe. Yeah, there was. And
Bubba
then
Watson's in
then
that group.
somewhere down like the M list, there's. I don't know if you go that far, but
W
yeah.
list.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, New York City's rocking right now for sure.
I don't want you guys to be fooled.
Oh, sorry, we
Frankie
forgot you
Borelli.
were on here. Sorry about that.
No, Frankie Borelli, depending on who's playing in that stadium, it's either the best stadium in the world or the worst arena in the world, according to Frankie.
Well, I think the crowd still gets into it for sure on Knicks games. Like, it gets rocking, but it's still perennial for losing. It's the most famous arena of all time for losing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the arena itself. I mean, just go in there, right?
True.
Now, if you live here, it doesn't mean as much. But that was the first time to sit and watch a game. It was awesome. I mean, just the experience of knowing where I was.
My argument, because I'm an Islanders fan and the Rangers play there, so there's a big hockey rivalry with that. And I always say that it's the most famous arena for losing. It gets a lot of this glory and lore. Meanwhile, if you think back to the last championship that's ever happened, and I mean, they had one championship in '94 for the Rangers, and before that, the Knicks. I don't even know when they won. So, like, you think of this amazing arena. I mean, they don't win anything at the Garden. They don't.
Yeah, but it's amazing for somebody.
Yeah, like the circus that comes through.
No, the team that won.
Oh yeah, the opposing team. Yeah,
And Bubba's right that it's amazing. Like, we're from outside of New York, so it doesn't matter to us. Like, we go there and it's MSG. That's what's great about
the
it.
theatrics are unmatched. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love going to Knicks games. The theatrics are unmatched. They just got to start winning more.
I mean, now they saying, what are they saying? Bing bong.
Bing bong. We had the Bing bong guys in the office here
Oh
today.
my
The
gosh!
guys who started.
I mean, the whole crowd got into that.
Yeah.
I mean, but like they missed 4 dunks too.
Yeah, that's
alley-oop dunks that were like right there. But anyway.
Bubba, I'm curious how somebody even starts to write a book, right? You're a professional golfer. You've won 12 times. You won the Masters a couple times. When do you sit down and go, you know what? I'm gonna start putting words to paper. I'm gonna start putting pen to paper. How does that happen?
Yeah, it's winning the Masters, everybody wants you to write a book, right? There's a lot of publishers, all these people come up to you, and they want you to write a book. And I'm like, I don't want to write a golf book. That's boring. Who wants to listen to that? Where's your elbow at? Who cares? You know, like, what kind of grip do you use? Overlap? No, I don't use overlap. You know, like, who cares about that? And so, with me going through my guess, I'm going to say 15, 16, and then 17 was rock bottom. That's where it started, kind of the build up. And when I came out of that in a positive light, I changed. My body obviously changed because I started gaining weight again and moving in the right direction. And then when the pandemic hit, that's when I was like, okay, I've got an idea, right? I've got this idea that I want to help somebody. I want to help people. And how do I help people? And so now I've got a book. Now I've got an idea. Now how do I put it together? And Don Yeager is a lovely man. His family is awesome, and what he does is awesome, and how he puts it all together. So me and him teamed up and spent many hours. I'm going to say, it feels like 100 hours, on the phone. And he just sits and listens to me. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't even. Yeah. He just listens and tries to figure it out. And then, we've over the course of 2 years, we've changed the layout of the book, but we went with hard hitting. We went with rock bottom, the first chapter, to get people to understand we mean business here. This is where my life is. Doesn't matter. It's just my job is to play golf, but I have a lot of issues, and I need to voice them to help me, but I wanted to help other people. So that's really where it came down to is how do I don't want to do a book to do a book. I'm not doing a book for money. I could care less about the money of the book. I want somebody to say their life has changed. I want to cry because somebody said, you've changed my life. And so that's what the book meant to me, and that's what it means to me. And so that's where I came from. And so getting that on paper, it's just many hours of talking with somebody. Then we finally got to meet face to face and talk, and showed him around Baghdad, showed him around Pensacola, all the things that I'm doing in the city, so he could get a version or a feel of what I'm doing. I'm not educated enough to actually put the words to paper, but my voice to voice them out was there for sure.
So I read the excerpt of the first chapter, like you're talking about,
at least you got
the
that
beginning
in.
of the book. And it was, it is powerful. For you, someone who's talked a lot about the public, spotlight's not necessarily for you. You don't always feel comfortable. Obviously you're talking to somebody on the phone. You're not necessarily giving a big speech with that, but is that difficult to kind of reveal all of those things?
Truthfully, it's a great question, but no, where I'm at now in my life, because I went through what I consider rock bottom. There was 3 moments, 07, somewhere around 2011-ish. and then now 2017, and that's my deepest, darkest hole I've ever been in. You can see it not from a standpoint of I was sick, but I was, something in my head was causing me to lose weight. I got down to 162 pounds. But for me, what I learned is talking to my wife, 17 years married, 20 years together. If I can't communicate with my wife, my manly, deepest, darkest secrets, and what's causing me anguish, what's causing me anxiety and stress, and causing me to lose weight, then our relationship isn't where it needs to be. And that needs to come out. So I probably shared 90% of my issues with her, and not all 100. And so for me to voice that with her, now I could see that I'll call it getting healthy again, where I could put on weight and I could go and it was a different day. I was smiling. I had the energy to do things. And with that being said, now that goes, now I should share with my best friend, and now I should share with my team. Now I should share with the world. And so now it's easy. It's freeing for me. It's literally freeing for me, where I want to help people. And now I have a different attitudes on it, and a different attitude of media. Media scared me, right? Media. I talk about that a little bit. Media scared me. Every time I talked, somebody in there would twist my words or make me look negative or make me look like I'm a bad person. And I was like, wait, hold on a second. That's not me. Why are you writing this? I never focused on the 100 good things. I always focused on the 2 negatives. And so now that it's freeing, you can't make fun of me if I go ahead and tell you my flaws, right? How are you gonna make fun of me? I've already told you my flaws. Right. It's kind of like you never thought we'd talk about Eminem today, but Eminem.
I was about to say 8 Mile.
Yes, I went to XM Radio today, but I shaved 45. So I took a picture with the studio where they shoot that. Anyway, so I was thinking about that with 8 Mile, and that's where, like, hey, if I make fun of myself, you got no room to make fun of me. Right. I'm already doing it. So like, me and you got nothing on me. You got no ammo, and that's really what happened. In 8 Mile, same thing. And so that's really what it is. It's like, now I'm just like, you know what? I'm here. This is me. You already know my flaws. I button up my shirt because I don't want you to see how hairy I am. You know what I'm saying? So like, we're good now. I'm in the right direction. I'm trying to do the right things. I'm the husband I need to be. I'm the dad. I'm trying to be the dad I need to be. Those kids, though, man, they get fiery. But that's a different book. But and so for me, yeah, I'm in a good place, and my whole goal was to help. If it's somebody in this room, if it's not just me, it's somebody in this room or somebody outside this room. I mean, that's the whole goal now, and that's where it's freeing to be able to talk about my issues, my flaws, or whatever.
Totally, man. It's moving, because I think we all, no matter what, and even a lot of people probably feel whether it's embarrassed or too manly, like you're saying, to be able to speak about these things. But I think we all deal with it on some level, especially us on the internet. Like when you said there's 100 good things and 2 bad things, and you would dive into the bad things. I'm the same way, right? Like we can get a million good comments about how good we're doing and how much people love the podcast, but then there's one guy that says like, oh, you have a feminine forehead and you're a fucking asshole, and I'll look at and I'll be like, all right, like what's this guy about? Let me see where this, and I'm like looking everything about these trolls on the internet. So it is really good that we have someone in the spotlight in our game that now I can look to you and be like, all right, if Bubba's doing it, I should kind of take the same strides that you did. So it's pretty cool that you're doing this, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think as athletes, we have the platform, right? We have the microphone. But what we're going to find out is police officers, military, doctors, nurses. I mean, it's a struggle in our world right now, and I think there's a lot more mental problems going on. We just happen to be the platform that we start voicing it, so people will start understanding or doing the research to figure out how to help me and you or somebody else. And then one thing about that on social media, being able to hide behind it and not say your real name and where you live, you're like, hey, I can do whatever I want.
Say whatever you want.
And that, it's just like, no.
It's crazy.
No accountability.
You can see across the platforms, right? So like, on our website, it's all anonymous, right? Like, so they can make any name, they can write whatever they want. But then on like Instagram, you could tell that it's more linked to their actual person. You won't get as much negative comments because you can see their name, you can see their family and stuff like that. It is amazing.
If you go, and then if you go even further, you go to Facebook, it is their name.
It's all
nicest people in the world.
Right.
Yes.
Because they're not emboldened by anonymity.
It's a crazy world we live in, man. But you got to be able to just take it in stride and learn how to deal with it, and just like you're saying, put it all out there, and at the end of the day, you are who you are, and you just got to move forward. You know what I mean?
Right. Every day, take that one step forward, and the people around you. You're going to have 5, 3 to 5 great friends that you can truly talk to, and hopefully one of those is either going to be your wife or your husband. And so for me and my wife, now we're at a communication level that we're actually one, and we can grow. And then my people around me, I mean, we're sharing now, and so we can deal with problems and move forward.
Most guys have tried different ways to last longer. Thinking about, it says baseball in this one, doesn't always work. Maybe thinking about golf, maybe thinking about one of the boring announcers in golf, which we get into coming up in the show. Speaking slowly and boringly with no excitement, no emphasis on anything. Maybe that's something you might have tried. It's not always going to work. Folks at Roman, an online men's health company, they're changing the game with Roman Swipes, which is the secret to longer lasting sex. Do we want sex to last longer, boys?
That would be awesome.
Yep.
If there was something that would help us do that.
I personally do want that. I think that'd be great.
Not shorter, right? You don't want it to just end quickly.
Longer.
Ending quickly is bad.
Roman Swipes are a clinically proven way to last longer in the bedroom situation. They're effective, easy to use, fast acting, don't require a prescription. They can ship swipes to you in discreet, unmarked packaging, and each swipe's packet small enough to hide in your wallet for whenever you're going to need it. They're super easy to use. You just take the swipes out of the packet, swipe them on, let it dry, and you are good to go. That's it. You can go to GetRoman.com/4. You get your first month of swipes for just $5 when you choose a monthly plan. That is GetRoman.com/4.
When you were writing the book, how deep did you guys go into coming up with the puns, the golf puns, up and down? I love it.
Well, yeah, but that's real. That was really it, right?
It is.
But truly, because it's the up and downs. I mean, it is. It's one of those things that there were so many different names I wanted to do and all these things, but up and down it made the most dumb sense.
How many names did you have in mind that you went through?
Well, I mean, I'm selfish, as I noticed in my life. I'm very selfish.
Sure.
And so I wanted to just say Bubba Watson, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or maybe even, act like I'm really awesome and just put Bubba,
Oh.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where, that's the selfish part of me coming up. That's the part that
I like up and down, and we like the victories and struggles in the course of life. You throw a lot of golf puns in there. And, it's very thoughtful, it's very witty, and it's also very impactful. So,
but if you look at it, it was trying to get the golf people to read it, right?
Totally,
because
exactly.
it's going to be about golf, and then you get the other people to read it. It's not just about golf, right? And so you're trying to impact a lot of people, golf fans or non-golf fans.
You look good on the cover too, man. You look like healthy. You look happy.
Right, exactly.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a fun time and still a fun time, right? Because we're still talking about it and I get to.
Well, now is the fun time. Everyone's gonna be able to enjoy it. Everyone's got to go out and get up and down. Where are we selling this thing? Where can people find it?
Bookstores, man. Or we go to Amazon. You go to BubbaWatson.com.
You're everywhere then.
I mean, we're everywhere, man.
Bubba's just like he's a 5-tool player over here. Absolute 5-tool player.
So when the book about Tiger Woods came out, you'd love this, Bob, a few years ago by Armin Katayan, and it was the whole biography about him, and we were talking about the book on the show for, an hour and a half. We did a deep dive, and then we just started getting all these messages from people that are like, hey, that book about Tiger you guys talk about, what's the name of that book? And we got 50 of them. People are like, what's the name of that book? And we now, for whatever it's been, 2 or 3 years, we have a long-standing joke of the name of the book is just Tiger Woods. That's just the name of the book.
Right.
And
that's right. You actually may have dodged a bullet by not naming it Bubba,
That's
because
right.
then you would have found yourself in this similar situation.
Like, oh yeah, we like that new Tiger Woods book. What's the name of it? Tiger Woods.
Yeah, they just named it Tiger Woods.
Is that what I don't read books,
It's
man.
like who's on first.
But I listen to the audio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you consider, when you listen to an audiobook, do you consider, like, if people ask you about it, do you say I read this book? That was a debate we had on this show.
Yeah, I do, because that counts for me. My education level, that counts.
Thank
man.
you.
But I've learned. I'm reading a book called Awe right now, Awe of Self. And so that's where my selfishness has been revered. And so anyway, so I've actually started reading. I actually had to read my own book. I had to say it and read it because I had to make sure all the stories matched up, and those are real events that happened. So I started reading. It's a new process in my life. It's small books with pictures, but we're getting
You'll phase out the pictures at some point.
You saw I put pictures in my book. I had to. You had to put
saw.
pictures, man.
When you were younger, too, there was a couple cool pictures of you. You said you always wanted to be a superhero.
Right, and the Superman shirt, and then there's knickers, and
Awesome.
I had to put them in there, man.
You did, man. That's awesome.
Payne Stewart with the American flag shirt right there.
Georgia. Man. How you feeling about them this year?
I feel great.
You should.
I mean, I'm trying to. I need to get a national championship ring.
Yeah.
Need is the
I mean,
wrong
you
word.
obviously get one if they win, right?
I shouldn't I? If you pump
Need-
if you
need,
pump enough,
should. Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
so.
how much do I donate? I mean, for the kids,
Of course, for no other reason.
for the kids.
Have you been there this year to a game?
Not to Georgia. I went to the Auburn game.
Okay.
My son's playing tackle football. He's 9 years old, first year, and it kills the football because he's playing on Saturdays at 12:30 every Saturday. But the Auburn game, they were off, so we drove up from. It's only a couple hours from my house, and so we drove up there and we were on the field. You know, winning the Masters a couple of times to get you on the field. You know, so
Yeah,
it's nice.
definitely.
Exactly.
We've got a big Alabama guy behind the sticks here. We got.
You know what? I love SEC football, so I don't care who wins, as long as it's SEC football. And but man, I actually love.
Is that actually true?
Yeah, dead serious. I'm dead serious. I'm an SEC. I went to SEC, so how would that not be true? I'm not lying. I would never lie to you guys.
But within the SEC, there's massive rivalries.
Right,
If
like
my
I'm a-
team, if my team can't win, it better be an SEC team.
Really? Is that how you think as well?
Yeah, exactly. Like if
No way.
if Alabama loses to Georgia, not in the SEC championship, but in the college football playoff, I would like Georgia to win because then you lost to the winner. Same thing with like Ravens Steelers or anything like that.
But you don't. Why do you want? I don't want any other conference to win because our conference is the best.
You also make money. Like if
I'm not.
Georgia,
I'm not worried. I don't even know making money.
If Georgia
Wait,
if Georgia were to
money?
win the Georgia were to win the national championship, like Florida's gonna have funding for their like diving team, stuff like that. You know.
You know what? I think
You know
you're
what?
right.
You're a nice guy. That's what you're worried about. The diving team in Florida.
Yeah, no, okay.
But now that I'm
Jay.
thinking about it, I
Yeah,
don't-
Vanderbilt
right.
golf team gets funding.
They're right.
There you go.
If Iowa can't win it, which
Football
unfortunately
team
they're not
needs
going to
it.
win it, they've lost 2 games in a row. I would like a Big Ten school to win it.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but here's my thing, my selfishness again. You know, we're going to air this out there.
Yeah.
So Alabama lost to Texas A&M, which I got a story about Jimbo Fisher that y'all really care about. And so when they lost, I was like, oh my gosh, they lost. So now at the SEC championship, if they play each other and Georgia loses, now that might bump Georgia out because there's a 1 loss. But if Alabama was undefeated, the 1 loss might still stay in there. So I was already trying to hedge my bets, you know, on the Georgia side. So Jimbo Fisher, I got time to tell you this. So
Yeah.
we're at national championship game, Georgia, Alabama, and we're on the sidelines again. 2 Masters get you on the sidelines.
Love
and
it.
so we're on the sidelines, and now it's halftime. So we go underneath where ESPN and stuff is, and I'm doing something, you know, getting food or doing an interview or something, and my wife's sitting on the couch. This man sits down on the other couch, you know, like an L shape, and they were talking the whole time. And I come up and I'm like, oh my gosh, man, huge fan of yours, man. I shook his hand. He just signed with Texas A&M, and you know, big contract and everything. But I was like, I'm a Florida State fan. I grew up Florida State fan. It was close to my house, and so I was like, I mean, I can't believe you left Florida State, just like Mark Richt did back in the day when I was at Georgia. But you know, so I was talking about Florida State, and then he was Texas A&M, and my wife goes, so who are you? What do you do? I was like, that's Jimbo Fisher. What are you doing? so now that's our joke. Every time we see Texas A&M or see his name, she's like, oh, there's my buddy. But yeah, she's been talking to this man forever. I mean, we're talking 10, maybe 15 minutes. They were just talking. And then he goes, so who are you?
Oh man, that's exactly like the situation with Lurch. So
Oh, yeah.
we have our 4th host who's not here today was at Justin Thomas's house a couple weeks ago. They were playing out at the Grove, right in Florida, Jordan's course,
yeah.
and which I'm sure you know all about. You and
The Jordan, that's
you know,
who's that?
Michael, I think. I think
the
he played for
shoe
the
guy.
Bulls.
He's
Yeah,
the shoe guy. Yeah, shoe guy.
He's the meme guy.
Yeah.
He's
the
the guy.
meme.
He's the guy who cries after
It's
every
the crying
loss.
meme.
But anyway, so they're all hanging around, and Lurch is talking to Bud Cauley, and he goes, and halfway through the conversation goes, so what do you do? Because he just didn't recognize him in just regular street clothes, and everyone in the house heard it, and they're like, how do you not know who Bud is? This is crazy. It's a house filled with golfers. So that we
That's
give him,
actually a good question for you. When you are wearing street clothes, when you're walking around, do you get recognized? I'm sure you get recognized less, but like, is it much less or no? Like when you're wearing street clothes as opposed to being on a golf course?
Well, when logo's up and a visor on, and you're in a golf town like Scottsdale, yeah, I get recognized quite a bit.
Yes.
But when I'm in street clothes, it just depends on the city, really.
Sure.
Last night when I walked to the game and back, I had my mask on the whole time, so that just in case. Yeah. But one police officer stopped me. He goes, "Hey, are you?" I said, "Yeah, man. How you doing, man?" I said, "Brooks Koepka?" No. Nah, but I mean, he knew who I was, and that's when I put the mask on. After that, I was like, okay, maybe people, as I get closer, maybe people know.
2 Masters that'll get you there.
Get you on the sidelines and get you recognized.
Exactly. Get your courtside too.
Courtside. We gotta get you on the jumbotron though.
Exactly.
Gotta
You
get
can't
you on
get
the
there.
jumbotron.
So where we at, Bubba? Where we at golf game wise? I mean, I know you're writing books. You were out at the Solheim Cup, which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, that was great.
Very, very cool thing that you did. How cool was how much fun was the Solheim Cup?
Oh my gosh, the Solheim Cup was amazing. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to be there and support the women. And I supported them. I love watching LPGA. But my wife was a pro basketball player, and I have a 6-year-old daughter that maybe one day wants to have the dream of playing professional sport. So yeah, but having the free time. But I've scheduled this free time off, and I haven't touched the club. I'm not very good with dates. I would say at least I've played 9 holes. Played 9 holes at the Solheim Cup, and I've played 2 holes since then.
No way.
So
Wow.
I don't know what that is. So it's been a while, and so I played 9 holes for them there, and then I played 2 holes for a photo shoot, and that's it. December, QBE, and then the PNC, the Parent Junior, in Orlando. So those are the 2 coming up. Because I want my family involved and all those things. So, yeah, I'm just taking time off. But I scheduled it because I knew he was playing football. She's playing soccer and gymnastics. So I want to be there for that. At some point, forget me. I want to support them, and I want to watch them. I want them to be better than me or my wife's ever been as a person, but also whatever they choose to do.
Yeah, it's interesting, like you said, because with the book and seeing you come up at the Solheim Cup, I know you and Teddy recently split. You and Teddy were unbelievably close. I spent an entire day with you guys, so I think a lot of people are curious, sort of what's and you've always come off as a guy that's felt like, golf's not going to for your entire life. Professional golf's probably not going to be your whole life, your professional life. You're naturally going to, you're I guess you've always come off as a guy that would be comfortable stepping away at times, whether it's breaks or whether you get to that point in your life. So it was just kind of, I think the golf world's a little curious where you're at with that.
Yeah, for sure. No, I love golf tremendously. Rumor has it that that the PGA Tour might have a break after next season. Rumor has it, and so I'll go ahead and start practicing that break. That winter break, and so for me, and again going back to Ted Scott. Ted Scott's been a leader for me for 15 years. I mean, he's older than me, so he was already the spiritual leader. He was already the husband leader, the dad that I needed to look up to and be like, and he's helped me many times, not only on the golf course, we're talking about in life. And so, not being able to give him exactly what he needed for his own family, for his own retirement, for his own situation. And he wants to coach. So we assess it, and, it's one of those things where I told him, I said, man, if you can go help another child, another kid, right, another maturity level like mine when I was coming out, then that how much better would that be, right? And you be there for somebody to be better than Bubba Watson, get them past me, win 3 Masters, win 15 events instead of 12 or whatever that is. It's not that I'm done with golf, and not that I'm done with Teddy. I mean, Teddy's my good friend, led me many years. And so, yeah, it's just one of those places that we're at right now, but I can't wait. I mean, I'm ready to play golf. I just want to miss it. I want to miss it so that when I get there, I'm not as mad at the 3 putts as I am when I play every day.
Is it kind of like adding fuel to a fire? Is that how that works? Are you kind of adding fuel to a fire by taking some time off? Is that how you're looking at it?
Friday I'll be 43, so I'm trying to rest the old body for a little bit.
Right.
But no, it does add fuel. When I see these kids winning, that guy that won the tournament last week, wherever it was, I don't know where it was. I haven't watched golf, and so anyway, so yeah, I want to beat that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And so, but no, it does. I mean, the more I see, the more you hear about it, the more you see it, and you know that not playing these weeks, you're gonna be behind in the FedEx Cup, world rankings probably dropping, whatever it is, right? And so you're gonna try to challenge that at President's Cups next year. So you want to challenge that. I mean, there's so many things that I want to do. I want to stop Rory from winning the Masters because I want to beat him, make him come in second, so he has to go another year before he can win the Grand Slam.
Yep.
He's going to win it, but let's just postpone it a year,
It's inevitable, you think?
Well, I mean, he's so good. I mean, if I can luck into 2, he can luck into 1, right? So, I mean, I'll pull for him. I really want him to, and I want Jordan to do his thing. I wish somehow Phil Mickelson could to win, I mean, he just won 1 major, so why can't he win the U.S. Open, right? Yeah, things like that. It doesn't bother me if they have a better career than me and all those things. I pull for those. They're friends. And so, I would love to see them win, but I'd love to see them have to wait a year because I beat them.
Fair.
And what were you saying? Sorry, man. We interrupted you, man.
Yeah, we did.
Way over there in the sunny.
I know. I'm out here in the desert. I'm 3 hours behind. We're trying to
But
keep
you got a
up.
hoodie on to
you're
act
just-
like you're
Air conditioning
cold.
must be working.
yeah.
Oh, buddy, I keep it low in here. You got to keep the AC low. I just think your whole outlook, you're a positive guy right now. It seems like you're in a good place. You got such a good vibe about you. You're doing tours, chit-chatting up and down. So it's nice to see Bubba Watson in a seemingly phenomenal place right now. It's like, it's just easy to be happy for you, I feel like.
Yeah, man, thank you. It is. It's funny, these articles, if you go off of articles and different things, the internet's not true all the times, but talking. I mean, every time me and you've talked, every time me and you've been together, you've said the same thing. I mean, that's who I am, right? I'm not faking it. I'm not doing anything. And but yeah, my life is definitely in the right path every day. Try to take that step forward, and we're doing good. I got to find a caddy though. Maybe I'll get one of y'all to caddy for me because I haven't found a caddy yet. So.
Okay.
We're in.
Yeah, all three of us.
Yes, exactly. You get 6 holes each.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So y'all can make it.
We'll break it up.
It's my shoulder.
We could do a caddy. We could do a caddy competition. See like which one of us wins the competition to become.
Yeah,
Bubba's caddy.
whoever low round or maybe high round because I don't know. Change it up.
I'm a lefty, so we have that in common. But I also have a bum elbow, so I don't know. I won't be able to carry it really.
Pull cart. We'll get
pull cart maybe. Yeah.
Oh man, or maybe the middle guy, the low man and the high man are out. The middle guy's winning.
Shit, that's good.
All right. Well, look, we appreciate it as always. We got to get you back on over and over again because we love having you. Check out the book, all kinds of good golf puns in there, and you get 2 of them right away. Up and down, victories and struggles in the course of life. So, Bubba Watson, we appreciate you. They appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you. Remotely chit-chatting with me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all. And then you too. Thanks.
Tee times, folks. We're talking tee times. You got to book tee times to play golf. All right. You don't want to be calling every pro shop in the city, in the country. Fall golf, maybe the best time of year. We're getting into November. Beautiful out. You got fall foliage still kicking. You got nice weather. You get a quarter zip. You get some pants on. It's great. You want to be out there playing. You don't want your season to be over golf-wise. All right. It's not over. You can still play some golf. Book them with the Barstool Golf Time app, which we created with Supreme Golf. You can leave reviews, and we have a top 10 list, I think.
Yes. I'll rattle these off if you want me
It's
to.
like the David Letterman top 10.
It's the top 10 users right now who have accumulated the most points on our app, on the Barstool Golf Time app.
You can start at number
Let's
10.
fucking hear him.
This is
Let's
what.
fucking
Yeah,
hear
we'll start at number 10. It's Jake Simon at number 10. I mean, here we go already. Ajay Smith.
Okay.
How would you say that name? AJAI.
I'm not looking at the list. What is
AJAI.
AJAI. Ajay.
Ajay Smith. Coming in at 8. And this is, remember, to get on this list, you have to have the most reviews, the most pictures, the most videos. Like, accumulate points. Download the app, figure out a way to get points, and then do it.
And what does the number one person get?
They're going to get a plethora of things. We have a ton of different incentives and prizes. And then on top of all that, I'll bring you to Borelli's, and we'll play a nice round at a local golf course, and we'll have some dinner. We'll have some Detroit pizza. So clocking number 8 on this list, we have Josh Spigner. 7, Sean Gallagher. 6, Nate Thompson. 5, Chase Collison. 4, Benjamin Hilgen. I lost my place there.
3 comes next.
3, Ian Coleman. 2, Tony Parella.
Oh, that was nice.
And then number 1. I don't know how to say his last name, so I'm going to just I'm going to wing this one. At number 1 on the Barstool Golf Time app with the most points, the most reviews, the most videos, and the most rounds booked, it's Tyler Lechik.
All right. Tyler Lechik.
So it's Tyler Lechik. We've got him locked in at number 1. He is currently dominating the scoreboard. He is the number 1 user, reviewer, and player on the Barstool Golf Time app. Keep it going.
From now until the end of the year, earn double reward points when submitting course reviews. To enter a review, all you got to do is filter to your course, click the submit a review on the course home screen, and you will get double rewards points. There's a lot of good prizes. I don't have them in front of me here. I thought they might be on the sheet, but I don't see them. But there are a lot of good prizes that you can win, including you're going to go get to hang out and do dinner at Borelli's with Frankie Borelli, the pizza maker himself. So earn double points, okay, throughout now and the rest of the year by submitting course reviews. Use the Barstool Golf Time app. Get on that list. Win all kinds of cool stuff.
You just sat down. What'd you just get out of the fucking ocean? What'd you just come from surfing?
I did.
No way.
Well, no surfing right now. The waves weren't great today, but It's off season for me, baby.
I love your energy.
Let's just get right into it.
Yeah,
Let's
we're
start
starting the
now.
podcast.
We're starting
the
now.
interview. Riggs, go ahead.
You got Matt Every on the show who just came like he's a Cali surfer bro all of a sudden, right in the kickstart the show.
Atlantic Beach.
That's true.
East Coast.
That's the wrong spot. That's the wrong spot. He's a Florida guy. What's up? How are we doing? You're just chilling right now? You're hanging? Are you grinding? What are you doing?
No grinding. God, what am I doing? I haven't played in a couple months. I played last week in Bermuda for a little bit, and I just kind of realized why I don't want to do it anymore for the time being. So a couple months off, getting ready to do some TV stuff that I'm pretty excited about. Starting at Sea Island, kind of a new deal for me, but I think it's going to work out good.
How's that work when you start to potentially get into TV stuff? Somebody come to you.
Well, number one, you got to start sucking at golf, and then to venture into the TV world. So you got to do that.
Successfully
first.
completed that first part?
I've done so good at that part.
Okay.
You're awesome
Check
at
the
sucking
first
at golf
box.
right now. You're just unreal at sucking at golf.
I am. For a while, actually. So check that box. And then, I guess I kind of approached some people about it. I've had people tell me I should do it for a while. I haven't been super active on social media my whole career. I really haven't had it my whole career. But I know I also have one of the biggest personalities that has played on tour in the last however many years, and I have a little bit of an edge to me, but I'm tied up. Like, I know what's right and wrong. I like to tiptoe the line a little bit.
Well, I mean, you had a couple quotes before about how social media sucks, how it's like all this. You're basically like looking for the approval of others. And I imagine as like a pro athlete that absolutely sucks because people are judging the shit out of your golf game, the way that you act. Maybe you throw a club or two.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah.
Which we're going to get into. But if you're on kind of the media side of social media, then you just get to make dumbass fucking jokes all the time on social media. And that's the whole game. That's like you're not looking for approval from anybody. Yeah. You're just out there. You're just part of the bullshit conversation that means nothing, and it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. So what do you want me to say?
Well, I'm saying I think your social media future is going to be a lot better, if you're more in the TV world than if you're playing, because nobody's really
for sure. Yeah, you're kind of an easy target if you're playing bad in whatever you're doing. Sure. And then it definitely it depends on who you are, how you handle that. I just never found a lot of value in other people's opinions about myself. And then also another thing too is just guys in my, in the same industry, when social media started becoming popular, the ones that were like really active on it, I thought they were just kind of hand jobs, to be honest. So it just really wasn't for me at the time. And I mean, I'm giving it a try. I feel like I need it now for a platform with the TV stuff, but I'm just going to be myself, really.
I mean, yeah, I think that's there are guys. It's interesting in golf because we talk about this a lot of when you tune into a leaderboard as a normal fan, maybe you're a casual fan or not. Like, everybody for the most part blends in. Like, everybody looks pretty similar. You don't really know a ton about them. We don't think the PGA Tour does a great job of like really highlighting and showcasing who people are, what makes them different, interesting. And we use like a Kevin Kisner of a really good example of like our crowd and our followers didn't really know much about Kiz. I tell Kiz all the time. We tell Kiz when he plays golf, he's incredibly boring to watch play golf. He doesn't really do much. He's just kind of out there, hitting it straight, making pretty good putts, but he's not that exciting. And then you get him into an environment where he can really be himself, like you're just talking about, I want to be myself, where he can really be himself, make jokes, speak the way that he normally speaks, and all of a sudden people open their eyes and they go, oh shit, there's a lot to this guy.
Yeah, no, Kevin's awesome. He's not one of the hand jobs I was talking about. um, he
Who is one of the hand
Yeah.
jobs that maybe we're talking
here we go. I don't know.
Talk about the hand jobs.
Yeah. So the dry ones.
We don't want those.
No, we don't. I don't know. Frankie, I'm a big fan of yours.
Are you really?
Yeah, dude. I just like your vibe. You got a great vibe.
Holy shit, man! I like that. I like you, man.
Yeah.
I really like you. Maybe you see like the fire in me, and we both have that where we'll just go.
So
off
yeah,
on
it's
someone.
another the fire. The fire. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got a lot of that in me.
Tossing
will
clubs
say-
all over the place. I like that.
Well,
shit.
that's a little blown out of. That's
Here we
a
go.
little blown. It is. Yes, I have grown man anger, and it's not a tantrum. It's not anything like that. I just fucking, if I get mad, it's done with. It's like a 2-second thing, whether it's over the knee or, throwing one or whatever. But for the 99% of me, I'm a lover, man.
I can
I've
see that.
I am. I take all of it's directed at me, and there's I'm not a blamer. I just handle things the way I handle them.
And we've actually been on your side, and I've definitely flip flopped on this. Where at first I thought it was like country club douchey when guys would like snap their clubs or like yell. But then you think about every other sport in the history of the world, and you're allowed to let out your aggression and your anger in so many ways, where golf doesn't have anything that allows you to do that, right? In baseball, you can fucking throw your bat at the dugout, take your helmet, toss it to the fucking bat boy, and you walk out to your position, and no one, they just go to commercial, nothing.
And people are like, I
yard,
love that.
yeah.
People are like, oh, I love that.
Hockey,
fire.
you can literally
Yeah,
fight
like,
someone.
Oh, here it comes! Here it comes!
Hockey,
Yeah,
you can
I know,
literally
right?
fist fight someone, and everyone goes crazy. That's why they buy the tickets, half the people. So in golf, you like snap a golf club because you just fucking hit one in the water, and they're like, this guy needs to be banned from the tour. It's crazy. It's nuts. So I'm totally on your side on that. You're allowed to get mad when you're playing a sport.
Yes, and I'd rather see someone get mad than like drag it out and whine and complain and bitch, and it's two totally different things. Yeah, I'm here for it. I can't wait to take a little break from golf and do the TV thing, and I think I'm going to surprise some people. I think that image of me throwing the club is not. I mean, obviously it is me throwing it, but it's not me at the core.
You've been doing this for a while, though, man. 2006, you turned pro. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's nothing to sneeze at, as the people say. I mean, that's
No,
a career.
It is. Yeah. Kisner and I are the same age. We played golf. Shit, man. He played at Georgia. I was at Florida. We're kind of pretty good on our team. So like our careers have kind of, obviously the back half of his career has been a lot better than mine. But yeah, man, I've been out there a while. It was good. I still physically, like, golf has not passed me by at all. I've actually gotten better every year with my numbers and stuff, like TrackMan shit and stuff like that. But mentally, man, it's tough for me to be present for 5 hours a day out there. It really is. It's kind of, that part of it's been a battle for me.
Do you think like transitioning to talking about golf will reignite the fire into wanting to play?
It could. It could. It's not necessarily what I'm looking for.
Okay.
But it could. I just think I have a lot more to, like, the last year, maybe the last year and a half on the course. I really haven't played that bad, and I've just been shit, and I've been miserable, and that's just not who I am. And if golf's going to bring that out in me, like, I'm lucky enough to be in a situation where I don't need to do that anymore. I have a lot more to offer. And I know there's nobody like me in our industry that can. I just think I'm going to surprise a lot of people.
You will, because I mean, we're in the golf world to talk about all the personalities and all the shit that's going on, and all these guys who are making headlines, and like, Your name never comes up in that, and you're just
Well, dude,
sitting behind-
that's because I've been chopping for like 3 years.
Yeah, but like just your personality, right? Like we haven't seen any of that. Like we get a couple tweets here and there. You'll give a funny interview. It's like we got to get this guy on the Foreplay pod. I'm like, all right, like yeah. I mean, he's out there. He's making funny. He's saying a couple funny lines. But I mean, your personality right now, you would be the most lovable dude of all time if you were out there all the time and people realized how down to earth, regular dude, just got out of the ocean, coming on here, just shooting the shit with the boys on Foreplay. Like this is who you are. We haven't seen that since 2006. Like you've kind of hidden that from people. Like, I mean, that's you're definitely about to come out and win people over, no doubt about it. You're gonna surprise everyone.
Well, we'll see. I hope so.
I think it's a no-brainer.
In TV and golf, it's not like it's oversaturated with like electric personalities right now.
I'm not. Yes, there's a lot of filler.
I'd say it's pretty barren, actually.
It's extremely barren, and like Colt's coming up, and he's done well.
So Colt doing well really opened my eye. Colt and I are good buddies, and
yeah,
I tell people all the time, like our personalities are very similar. Like I'm obviously way better looking than Colt is, but
yeah, that's a fact, of course.
You know, yeah. But I mean, yeah.
Heard it here first.
We could see it. We got eyes.
We all got eyes.
We got 6 eyes over here.
Yeah, but I'm
excited.
I'm excited, and honestly, I'm excited for Colt. That guy's he's gonna do big things. I would love to work with Colt. I think we would be great together on a broadcast. It definitely when Bones made that announcement that he was going back to caddying, it got me a little excited. I was like,
yeah, because look, like Bones has been great, but even he's different, right? He gives you this like really deep insight from being Phil's caddy. Colt comes in a little bit more. I feel like
he's getting a sunburn right now from his skyline.
There we go. I'm out of it now.
He's got to move that fucking. I almost wasn't listening to anything anyone was saying because I saw that light moving towards your eyes, and I was like, we gotta get him sunglasses or something.
And like we love, Trevor Immelman's been great, and I think he's got moments where, but even he's sort of, he's pretty polished up there. Whereas, you get like Faldo's fucking boring on the coverage. Everybody knows that. I think it's just mostly pretty boring when you're watching a lot of the names and a lot of the same old. So I feel like there is room for somebody to come in with a little spice.
Yeah, I've talked to a few people. Like really the only guy that I've really sought out advice from is Steve Sands. I adore him. I think he's like the best in the business. He's a total ace. And he told me, I said, Steve, I think I'm going to try this TV thing out. What do you think? And he was like, well, he's like, you'd be great at it. But he goes, the first thing when people ask me, who do you think can do this out here? He goes, I always bring up your name, but then the first thing they ask me is, well, can we trust him with a mic? And it's like, yeah, you can trust me with a mic. You just give me give me a look. I mean,
it's also
just look at
like, we want people that they ask, can you trust him with a mic?
Exactly.
Those are the people
Absolutely.
that we
That's the perfect reputation. Like I remember when we started this podcast, Riggs, you remember what did the PGA Tour say? Cautiously optimistic. Like they were a little nervous that we were going to say some crazy shit, and then we ended up saying some crazy shit, and it was rocky there for a few years. but that is what you want. We're talking about guys who we think are boring, and it's because they're so polished that I trust them, that I know that like people can take a nap to them on Sunday afternoons. That's not necessarily what the next generation of viewers want. They want somebody who's going to have a little bit of fire and have a little bit of edge.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely have that.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're good there.
I want of all the potential TV personalities in golf, I want to go down a line and you point at them and be like, can you trust it with a mic? And if the answer is like automatically yes, then like they're out. And then you get somebody, and if it's always a little bit like, then it's like, put them on TV. Let's fucking see what they got. Like it's just it's so boring in a game that already has a reputation of being kind of boring and uptight. And it's like we got plenty of guys that you can 100% fully trust. Let's get some more spice in there.
I think a lot, Riggs. I think a lot of it comes. It's just a safe play for these big networks.
For sure.
They know what they're going to get with what they got already. And hey, look, golf's doing great. I mean, yeah, it might suck to listen to someone call golf or whatever, but it's just so easy for them to fall back on some of these guys that have been doing it their whole lives, and some of them are really good at it. It takes some nuts to try something new sometimes.
But golf is doing well, but adding someone like you is just added value, right? Like there's still, you can still have guys like that on the broadcast that are, you know what you're going to get every single time, but then you throw in a Colt Knost or a you, and it's just, it brings a different dynamic to it, and I think it brings in more fans because people will see the clips and they'll be like, what's going on here, and they'll tune in.
Yes. Look, I know I will never, I haven't had the career to be like a booth guy. I haven't won any majors, but I have had a pretty good career. I mean, I've had some shit in my career, but I've also had some really good moments, like the highest of highs. And I know I can relate to pretty much every guy out there. I have a great relationship with every guy out there. And you don't know what I'm going to say. So it could be fun.
The sun still shining bright this fall. Okay. Shady Rays are our go-to sunglasses for this season and beyond. They're great for the golf course, for the glare. They're polarized. They're a lot of people worry about wearing sunglasses when you play golf, that it's going to change the coloration, the way that you can see. It's going to dull everything, or it's going to over brighten everything. Shady Rays is perfect.
You know who could have used Shady Rays? And I don't know if we've gotten to this part of the interview yet, but our guy Matt Every. He was in a heavyweight title fight against the glare or the sun in his living room, to the point where he had to move multiple times. And if he could have just thrown on some Shady Rays, he would have been more than fine. But he was in a real battle with the sun during that interview.
The whole window was just the sun, but the rectangle of the window shape was just projecting through there onto his body, and then it just went across his face as we were doing the interview, and he was dying. I mean, he was struggling. He was clearly losing to the sun.
He was bobbing and weaving trying to get out of that sun's way.
It's what happens when you get those big houses with the cathedral ceilings and the skylights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they all look so nice.
They don't tell you about that.
They don't tell you about the fucking glare, man. You can't even sit there and watch TV.
When you're trying to do a podcast, you're blinded. They don't tell you about that.
So Shady Rays has the best warranty going in the eyewear game. Replacements if shades are lost or broken for any reason. Doesn't matter what happens. You could drop them in the ocean, leave them on the golf course, anything. They will replace them. Try that with your high-price shades and see what happens. And then they still manage to make quality shades that I can tell you, holding them, using them. Okay, I use them all the time. You got some Shady Rays right here. These puppies are fantastic. I could tell you, using these puppies right now, how good they are. They're just as good as any expensive pair I've ever worn. Polarized lenses that look perfectly clear, and they start at just $48. You can use the code 4 for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. That is a buy one, get one free scenario. You can get 2 pairs, $48. Use the code 4, F-O-R-E, at shadyrays.com. Get 50% off 2 or more pairs. That's 4 at shadyrays.com. You do have, career-wise, it's so interesting. Like two back-to-back wins, 2014 at a pretty much a major championship like event. Like, I mean, the Arnold Palmer is up there. You never fucking see that. It's such a unique. I don't know if anybody. I've been racking my brain. Like anybody.
It's pretty bizarre, to be honest.
A similar number. That's unreal. Why do you think that is? Is there any reason for that?
Fuck, I don't know, man. Well, when I won the first year, my career was kind of doing this. It was like I was getting really like on the West Coast in 2014. I remember I had like 4 chances to, like, if I would have shot like 3 or 4 under on the back 9 on Sunday, I would have won. Maybe. Like, my memory might be a little off there, but it was like I had a look to win going into Sunday about 4 times. And so when I won Bay Hill in 14, I wasn't saying I was like expecting it to happen, but it was not a surprise to me. Like I inserted myself in that position enough times to where something good was going to happen. And it did. Then my game just kind of, I don't know really what happened. I just kind of fell off. And the whole next year I made some swing changes. I went and worked with Sean Foley, and it was really hard for me to pick up what we were working on, but I'm stubborn, and I was doing it, and I knew, like, on the range it was so good, and then I'd get on the course and it would just be dicey, and I'd hit a couple of foul balls, but it clicked. But next year when I got to Bay Hill, just the comfort of being there, it all clicked on the course for me, and I won again out of nowhere. Like, I mean, I had no form going into that tournament, and it worked out. So, but then after that, it's you know, I've had a few good tournaments. I think the Byron Nelson's at Trinity was probably my last like good showing. But yeah, weird career, man. Life's weird.
I gotta ask you about pro-ams. So we haven't had a ton of pro-am experience. We don't go to a lot of PGA Tour events because, like Trent said, it's been a little up and down. They don't give us great access for a lot of different reasons and restrictions.
Are they not crazy about you guys? They're not crazy about you?
It's gotten
We're
better.
fine now. We're fine now.
Yeah.
It's just they're more, you know, Tour does whatever 40 events a year, so they're a lot more protective of anything that goes out. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to put out videos and all that shit. So we have very rarely, almost never seen any pro-ams. Well, Liberty National this year at the Northern Trust, we're out there all day Wednesday for the pro-am. And I'm telling you, man, we might have seen almost 5 or 6 people get fucking killed. I mean, it was crazy that there were spectators out there and amateurs hitting horrific golf shots. Like, it looked like there was unrest among the amateurs in the field, and they were trying to fatally hurt the spectators. Have you seen just some crazy shit in pro-ams?
Probably. Nothing surprises me anymore. Just being out there. Like last week in Bermuda, this isn't a pro-am story, but it's something that had never happened to me before. We were on 10, and we get to 11. We're the first group off. And we're the first group off in the afternoon in my wave. So when we make the turn, like the last group off the back they've gone off like maybe 30 minutes before us. So we get to 11, and it's a blind tee shot downhill, and I had the tee, so I tee my ball up, and I'm a fast player, so like I'm ready to go. They're straight downwind. It's like a no-brainer tee shot. It's just going through the motions. And this volunteer, she like walks up and stands right in front of my ball. This is a nice, like probably 70-year-old lady. And she's like, "You can't hit. There's this guy came back to hit. I need you to wait." And the group in front of us is on 12 green. I can see them. They're right there. And I'm like, no, ma'am. I'm like, that's the group in front of us right there. Like, that's not. And she's like, no, they're down there. I'm like, look, nobody's going to die. I'm going to hit. Can you please move? And we had to like shoo her off the tee box.
No way.
So it was like a minute and a half. It was so strange. So I hit it left. I don't even know where the story's going. So I hit it left, and it's like borderline OB. And I was kind of pissed off at what just happened, because I was like, what are you doing? Like, just get out of the way. Like this, like a volunteer I love volunteers. I really do. I'm very grateful for them. But the ones that take it a little too serious.
Oh yeah. We've
That's
all
tough
seen
sometimes.
that. Oh yeah,
It's a little
we've
tough
all.
sometimes.
I can't
They
even
power
imagine
trip a
trying
little
to-
bit. They little power trip.
Sure, yeah. So I was a little, upset about that. So I hit it left. We get down there, find my ball, I hit it, and it goes into the front bunker. And I walk up there, and there's like a big old practice thing on my ball. It's not my ball. And I was like, oh. So I'm looking at my caddy, and it's this local dude named Dwayne. He's a great guy. And I'm like, Dwayne, this isn't my ball, dude. And he's like, oh, I'm like, I know. So we got to go back. It's not at my balls. We don't find it in bounds. So now I got to go re-tee, and I like see this lady, and I'm like, you're so nice, but I want to be so mad at you right now, but I can't be. And so then I hit it left again, and now I'm hitting 7 off the tee, and I was like, all right, that's enough. So I left. And that was kind of the reason. That's kind of the reason why I don't really think I should be playing golf anymore. Is it was too easy for me to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
It all spiraled
Yeah.
way too fast.
it was just like didn't even think this was a possibility today, and it just happened like that. And here we are, another WD.
Wow.
Did you ever figure out what she was talking about?
No, it was the weirdest thing ever. No, I mean, she was trying her best, just didn't work out.
She thought she was right.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she was old.
Man, and then that was just the end of your tour. You're just like, all right, we're out of here. Like, we're just.
Well, yeah, now it's like I'm gonna miss the cut, and I know it sounds terrible, but I just stopped trying to beat out ground balls and T-ball. Like it's just it is what it is.
Incredible. Dude, we just like when we were there in the Pro-Am, because the PGA Tour, like we've talked about a bunch, is buttoned up. It's tight. It seems like everything's under control. And then this Pro-Am was just fucking chaos. Like snap.
There was a guy that got hit. Trey Mullinax at Colonial a couple years ago got hit in the head by a Pro-Am ball. I'm pretty sure by an amateur. Like a dead shank right in the head.
Oh,
I could see it. Like I know Charles Schwartzel got hurt one year by like his amateur partner got hit, and I think he had to like withdraw from the tournament. But we were just like, how do they have like the best PR cover-up team on Pro-Ams in general? Because people have to get hurt at these things. It was some of the worst golf shots I've ever seen, but they were coming in like low hooks that come in at 100 miles an hour that were just going to kill people.
Yeah.
Spectators are like, just standing there like,
they're like foul balls down the. They're like foul balls down the third baseline, just deer in headlights.
Right.
Yeah.
And the spectators, they're at a PGA Tour event, so they're thinking, all right, there's a guy in the fairway, but I'm going to look at the green because I think his ball is going to land somewhere on the green. They're not thinking about the amateurs that are hitting those low hooks. So we saw one guy who was just standing there kind of not by the green, but a little bit up by the green, and an amateur hit a low hook, and it just missed his face because he wasn't even looking in the direction of where the ball was hit, because he's like, oh, these are pros out here. They're definitely going to hit the green. So it's just as dangerous as it can get. And I'm with Riggs. I'm surprised that we don't hear more stories about it. They must have an insane PR.
Maybe we will. Maybe you guys will start something here.
I'd love to uncover a bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might get a little something. We could get a little something going on here.
Now that we're kind of taking golf or a little break from the game, what are you doing to pass the time? Or you swimming? What are you doing? What are your hobbies?
So a couple things. I started surfing a lot more just to keep myself busy. Because the TV thing, it's not like I can just like when they tell me I go.
Yeah.
So, I'll play golf with my buddies. I'm not like, I don't practice anymore like I'm about to go play in a tour event, at least for the time being. And I also have my buddies and I started a clothing line during the pandemic. It's a really good idea. And it's actually doing really well though. And we're really excited about where it's going.
What's it called?
Give it a plug or what? I mean, are you gonna fucking do?
Oh yeah,
anything
sure.
for this
It's called Live Forever Golf, LFG. We couldn't name it LFG because I'm pretty sure Tom Brady owns LFG, but
is that true?
He doesn't.
He owns it?
No, there's no chance. But you just can't.
Okay. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it's
You can't
believable
own
enough
letters.
that I believed it for like half a second. I guarantee there's people out there listening who also believed it because he does use it all the time.
He does, yes. But we named it Live Forever Golf, so you can you can play it off that. And it started, when I threw that club, I got a big fine for that, and I kept looking at the picture, and I was like, that's kind of a killer logo. So we just started making like hats and stuff off of that. But then it's like full on, like we're gonna be at the PGA show next year. It's a very well sexed clothing line. It's going to be good. We hired a designer that's been in the industry, like the surf and golf industry, for about 20 years. We hired this guy, Nick Gillum. He won the NCAAs at Florida. He's going to be head of sales for us. It's taken off like way, way bigger than I thought it would.
Totally.
That's the way to do it though. Like that's what we do with stuff. Like if a moment happens, like you're saying, if it looks like a good logo, throw it on some shirts, throw it on some hats.
It started as that, but now I think we're across the board. Like our next line is our new stuff is sick.
Let's co-brand, dude. Let's get some. That's what we do. We fucking we'll sync up. We'll get our logo.
We'll
with,
play in the same
your
sandbox.
stuff. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm happy to play that game. If you have ever wanted to is the words that I was trying to speak there. Wanted to make your home feel safer. There is no better time than right now. This week, our friends at Simply Safe, who've been partners, friends of ours for a very long time,
Did you just burp?
are giving. Yeah, I kind of just went through one right there. I ate a little burrito before we did the show.
It was a full battle from you, and I appreciate it because you really didn't let up that much, and it looked like you were struggling.
I try to make it as smooth as possible without, just a giant interruption in the proceedings here.
I decided to punctuate it and call it out instead.
I appreciate that. It's pretty honest. We're all show we do here,
Simply
Trent. That's fine. Foreplay.
Safe.
That's our show. They have this written. It says insert show name here. It took me a second to think about what our show name was, but it's Foreplay. Listeners, that's you guys, the patrons. You get 40% off the award-winning home security system from Simply Safe. We love Simply Safe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the exact instant that you need it. Simply Safe was even named Best Home Security System of 2021 by U.S. News and World Report. It's a damn good reward. They deserve it. These are Simply Safe's biggest discounts of the year. You can get complete home security systems starting at just over $100.
Wow.
They're everybody's favorite home security system. I know, isn't that pretty good?
Well, I'm going to end up being in the market for a new security system. I'm moving through all the new phases of life, and at some point I'm going to have to move into a new humble abode, a new house, a new give me another word for a house. Like what are those cool words for homes? The abode was the only one I could really think
Residence?
of. A new residence. I don't know.
Humble abode's like the big one that people
It's as
say
good as you
all
can
the
get.
time.
What
Anyway,
is it in Spanish?
at this point I'm going to have to what?
Casa.
Mikasa.
Mikasa.
I'm going to
Good
need
one.
to simply be safe in that, and I'm going to have some sort of security system. So this is literally like your ad read right now is going to, I'm perking my ears up. I'm about to listen to what this deal is, and then what I have to type in on simplysafe.com to get the best deal to get Simply Safe, because I will have to be Simply Safe once I move into my new humble abode.
Well, Frankie, for you to take advantage of Simply Safe's holiday sale, oh God, we're grinding through. Simply Safe's
Damn
holiday
burrito.
sale is how I was supposed to say it.
The burritos
And
just-
get 40%
Settle
off
down.
your new home security system. You visit simplysafe.com/foreplay. Simplysafe.com/foreplay for 40% off your entire system. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Borelli, go to simplysafe.com/foreplay for 40% off your entire system. What do you think about like some state of the game stuff, like with the green reading books?
Let's
They're
talk
just gonna
about it.
ban them. They're not gonna allow the green reading books now going forward. Everybody's arguing,
Yeah.
it's a skill to be able to read greens. What do you think about that?
I'm
You use
guilty of you. Yeah, of course. And everyone uses
So
them.
then you're against banning them. You're against banning.
No, I'm with banning them, like 100%. But if they aren't going to ban them, you're cheating yourself, not fucking getting them. It tells you everything right there. On the book, like if you know how to read the book, it's easy to get lazy. I wish I never used them. I feel like I was better without them. Just like anything, like TrackMan, I felt like I was better without that. Like once you know too much, sometimes it's hard to forget it. And there's definitely been putts where, you'll be walking up to the green, and I already got it marked in my book, and I'm looking, and I don't even like really look at the putt. I'm like, my ball's there, the hole's here, and I'm like looking at the book, and I'm instead of like reading the putt, and it's like, what? Like, what am I doing here? And everyone's probably guilty of that out there, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference banning them. Everyone out there, dude, you're on the PGA Tour. You know how to fucking read greens. It's not at that level. It's not rocket science. It's really not. Now there's a difference between good putters or not, for sure, but like as far as reading greens, I don't. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I've never heard of an analysis where someone's like, man, he's got a great stroke, but he just can't read a green to save his life. Like I've never.
Yeah, it's like I can
I've
tell
never
you,
heard that.
yes, like I can tell you this 12-footer is going to break a cup left to right, but fuck, man, I can't tell you if I'm going to put it online and hit the perfect speed. Like that's golf.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. What about distance? I know USGA is worried about it a little bit. They are trying to stop it before they think it gets more out of control. 46-inch drivers, and that's the max. What you think distance as a guy that's?
I think we need
now.
to take.
You've been around for a while.
Yeah, I think we need to take. I'm with them on. It is getting out of hand, but I also think we need to take a look at the USGA. They've let some things pass by that have really changed our game, and I know like the whole having two different sets of rules for like the tour and then like just amateurs. A massive part. I think a massive thing they overlooked at our level is hybrids. It is such an advantage. Like a guy like Adam Scott or like Keegan Bradley or someone or Dustin or whoever that has a ton of speed and can just lace a high cut 4-iron. And then you get some slapdick out there whose back hurts or whatever, and he busts out this hybrid and it goes higher and lands softer. Like that's not right. That's not right. Like it's at our level, it is not right. I understand it makes the game more fun, but I think I don't know. I think the USGA is a mess.
Yeah, it's funny because it's I feel like we've heard, guys, I remember Tiger in the last 5 years or so has really started to preach a lot that the equipment has basically bunched everybody up, right? And it used to be that you could really stand out with, certain skills, ball striking, shaping shots, hitting it higher, lower, whatever. Whereas now it's like you said, the equipment has allowed people that aren't as good, and over 4 rounds that difference isn't as much, so you get everybody's fucking bunched up now.
Yeah. No, he's not wrong.
That guy's usually right.
Is he wrong about anything?
No, it's Tiger. You can do whatever you want.
How big of a Tiger guy are you?
Oh man, I love that guy.
Yep.
Massive fan. I pull that cow for him every time he's doing something good. I want nothing but the best for him.
Do you carry chapstick? You got chapstick on you right now?
I don't know why.
Well, there was a debate.
We're doing a poll.
Well, I was saying yesterday.
Oh, for like drivers?
Well, no, we were saying that like
maybe.
I think chapstick's sort of like chiropractic work, and I know that that's kind of a stretch to compare the two. But it's like the more you use it, the more you need it. So once you apply chapstick for the first time, your lips are now craving chapstick for the rest of your life. You're always
That's so true.
It's so true. To the point where I was asking, how many people do you think have chapstick in their pocket along with their wallet, keys, and phone? Like, is it like a daily? Do you grab the chapstick also?
Yeah. What's the percentage of people who carry around chapstick? It was the debate.
I think it's 100% female. And I think we landed around 30%.
100% female.
100,
Yeah,
which is okay.
Totally.
We don't want these dry weathered lips.
No, you can't have the dry lips.
No.
It's much lower for men though. I think
much lower.
10, 15%.
Yeah.
I'm hit or miss. I have some in my golf bag for sure, but I'm not like I'm not even close to an everyday user.
Talk to me a little bit about Oasis.
Oh, what do you want to know?
Well, I see this quote. It actually cracked me up where you said that your dream foursome would include Oasis members Liam and Noel.
That's like from 2008.
I was going to say, is that part of why you was Live Forever Golf?
Yeah, so that's where it started.
Awesome.
But I didn't. So my two buddies that really started this company, my buddy Scott Riley, he came up with the Live Forever. We were trying to think like LFG. It goes great with the logo, but like we can't use Let's Fucking Go. You just can't print it on shirts. I mean, you can, but I don't know what they were thinking. But that's where it came from. It originated from that song, Live Forever, which is a great song.
Yeah, I fucking love Oasis, man.
I love them too, man. They're the best.
I really think
if you one year I got suspended for 3 months, and Noel, they were split up, and Noel was touring in the U.S. with his new band, and I just like followed Noel around for a couple months.
Dude, that Oasis documentary is Supersonic. So I
Yeah,
like Oasis,
so
but I'm
good.
not a diehard fan. But when I watched that Supersonic documentary, that's one of the best music documentaries I've ever seen. They are so interesting.
It's really good. And for me, when you talk to a lot of people about Oasis, you can find out like what kind of fan they are right away, because in the US, like, if you say Oasis, people think Wonderwall and like Champagne Supernova, and like those are good songs, but that's not their sound. Like they are raw as fuck and kind of like in your face, uplifting music. And that's why I love them. I love that about them. I think they're the last real rock and roll band.
Foo Fighters, but
well, hey, Dave Grohl will say that that Oasis is the best band he's ever seen live.
Yeah,
like there's
he does.
quotes to that.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
And
I love Foo Fighters too, man.
Fuck, my cock gets hard for Foo Fighters. But speaking of cocks, this is what Liam says about Noel. I love reading Liam Gallagher quotes. It's maybe the funniest things on the planet. But he says, "This is Liam Gallagher on Brother Noel. I like Noel outside the band. Human Noel, that's my brother. I fucking adore him and I'd do anything for him. But the geezer that's in this fucking business, he's one of the biggest cocks in the universe."
Love it. Their quotes
There's
about
so
each other
many
are
good ones.
so good. It's
Oh,
amazing
they're
when
so
you think about Oasis that they're both still alive. Like they're still around, very much so. They both still make music, and they just refuse to come together and make
Yes.
music again.
It's got to be an ego thing with both
sure.
both of them. Liam's new stuff is actually pretty good. Noel went off the grid a little bit. He went into like a different genre kind of for a second, but Liam is still rock and roll, and I still think he kind of lives rock and roll ish still.
Totally.
I think recently didn't some like concert company like came to them and offered them like $100 million, and they still both said no.
Well, I don't know if Liam would say no. I think Noel probably said no.
That might have been.
I think Liam's like full on. I think he would love to do it. I'm like speaking for him.
Liam's such a fucking asshole that he'll never stop shitting down Noel's throat. That Noel has to have some sort of backbone to be like, I'm not coming back to this guy.
Right. No, yeah,
You know what I
you're right
mean?
about that.
Liam's such a fucking dick, and I love it.
So funny though.
It's so funny, man. Go on, anyone that's listening to this, go on YouTube and just type in best Liam Gallagher interviews, and there's like a 20
it is
on there.
you'll be rolling. Yeah,
rolling.
It's so good,
dude. At one point,
Rolling.
he's
It's
like,
so
they're
good.
like, "What would you do if you weren't a musician?" He's like, "I don't know. I'd probably be God, something like that." It's like,
There's
what the
one,
fuck?
There's one where he's like, he got kicked off this flight. I think it was a Qantas flight to Australia, and he was getting interviewed the next day, and he didn't have a shirt on. He was telling. It's like, I'll tell you kids, I'd rather walk like than fly Qantas. And he's like, I'll stab that captain if I see him. It's fucking so good.
Oh my god, dude, he is a funny fucking dude. Yeah, no, I'm a big. So are you a big music guy across the board? Is it just
music is big. It's a big part of my life. I'm not like great. My parents kind of fucked me because I know I would have been good at anything I did, but they didn't really place musical stuff in front of me. It was sports, but I know like I have it in me to be a front man, but they didn't offer that for me. So they get the tour instead, unbelievable.
That is interesting to think about that, right? Like you're like your brain was probably wired in a way for you to be like obsessively
I was going to be
good about something
for sure.
Right? How'd you know that you were going to be good at golf? Like at what clicked? In
high school, I played everything. I was pretty good at everything. Basketball, man, if I would have kept, I'm 6 foot, if I would have had like 3 more inches, and gave everything I had into basketball, like I did golf at a certain point, maybe baseball, maybe things would have been different. But I'm just one of those guys that I know there was no backup plan for anything. Like it was going to be the tour.
This is just going to work. This is going to work out.
Yes.
Cockiness.
Confidence.
Maybe.
You need
I
it,
wouldn't.
though.
I hate that word cockiness, like
Wow.
or arrogance. I would say confident. Yes.
But
But
I
the
think
mo-
cockiness in a good way, right? Like you are, it's
Most
it's confidence.
successful people tell that same story where they say there was no backup plan. Like if you had said, "Oh, if I don't do this, I'm going to be, I'm going to sell insurance or something." That it doesn't work that way. You just have to say, "I'm going to make this work. I'm going to play golf professionally," and there is no other option. So the only option is success, and it sounds like that's what you did.
kind of, yeah. No, it is. Like
Burn the
in high
boats,
school,
baby.
in high school they'd bring in a speaker and it'd be like, "How many of y'all think you're gonna play professional sports?" And people would raise their hand and it'd be like, "Well, what if I told you less than whatever percent?" And then I would be sitting there and I'd be like, "Man, fuck this guy!
Yeah,
like,
fuck
what
you."
is he talking about? Like, come on."
You're like wrong.
See,
Yeah.
that's the confidence that you
Whatever,
need.
loser, you're speaking to us.
Right. Yeah, that guy was he was just a part of the statistics that didn't make it, and now he's walking around saying
Correct.
other
Bitter.
people don't have the chance.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Poor bastard. So when's the first TV gig coming up soon?
So Sea Island. It's in a couple weeks. I'm doing that, and then I'm doing the Father Son event, which is right before Christmas, I believe. It's like the guys who are in like the Hall of Fame and their kids. That'll be interesting. Sea Island that'll be easy for me. I've played that course a million times. I know everyone that plays on our tour, and the Father Son will be interesting. I'm gonna have to do some homework for that, but
Yeah, Charlie and Tiger lit that one up last year. Was it last year?
yeah, they did. God, I wish he was playing this year.
How
That'd be
awesome
so
was that,
sick.
though? Little Charlie being like, "We're good. Pick it up." Every time on the tee box.
Oh yeah.
Bring your putter.
Do they give you? Is it like do you do a lot of like prep work? Do you have to go in and like rehearse and
So
shit
far,
with them
it's
for this,
been
or
like-
how's it work?
Show up on Wednesday, and that's it.
Let it rip.
Here's a mic.
Throw you
fucking
into
talk.
it. Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
If you're good, you're good. If you're not, you're not, I guess.
Sink or swim.
Yeah. I'm a good swimmer.
Wow.
You're a surfer.
All right. Well, hell, I'm excited. I'm
Is there
jacked
anything
up.
you're
I'm
not
looking-
good at except for golf
No,
right now?
a lot of things. Yeah.
Like golf right now?
I'm not like the greatest surfer. I mean, I can not make an idiot out of myself for sure, but that's kind of what our brand is. We have like, it's being run by like golfers who wish they were better at surfing, and like surfers who wish they were better at golfing. It's our clothing brand basically. And no, dude, I'm not like the best at everything, but I'm above average at. I'm a coordinated guy.
And it's funny because you say that, and then most people that are like that are good ping pong players. And then I see in your
I'm so
bio,
good at it.
it's fucking weird that guys that are just like decent at all sports, right? You can play a little baseball, play a little football, play a little basketball. You excel in ping pong. I guess it's just the
Dude.
combination of all the hand-eye coordination
For sure.
and
I got
aggression.
a bunch of guys on tour have this machine. It's called the RoboPong 2050.
We have that in the office. It's fucking
got
nuts. Oh yeah, it just shoots the balls
it's
at you.
It's a full-on workout.
Oh my
Like,
god, I almost had a heart attack.
If you do it for 15 minutes, you're drenched.
Of course.
But I love it, man. We used to go. We'd have some battles in the locker room playing ping pong, just because everyone, the guy. If you're good at it, there's probably like 10 of us out on the tour that, for like regular white guys, they're about as good as you can get for ping pong, and it is a fucking blast.
Who's in your circle of ping pong players?
Frankie's all jacked up right now.
Like Berger is really good at ping pong.
Caked up.
Spieth is good.
Cooch is a
Duffner.
good one.
Cooch is so good. It's like not even. I mean,
No
he's got
way.
a lot of. He's got so much. Dude, you
Oh,
can't get
he's-
that guy's like he's like this.
He's
You
like an
can't get anything by
octopus.
him. And he's got a lot of tennis in his game too. Like
okay.
his strokes are like they're a little longer. Like he's just got a lot of
He's a
tennis in his game.
giraffe.
Berger has a two-handed backhand in ping pong, and that will, if you've never seen that coming at you, that will throw you off. Like
Come
a
on.
guy grabbing, I swear to God, dude, he'll grab he's two-handed backhand. It's the weirdest thing
Have you
ever.
ever swung with two hands with a
No,
ping pong paddle?
no.
We got to get him in here.
No,
How
and
do
he
you
landed
grab
it.
two
every-
hands
he,
on that thing?
he lands it every time too. It's unbelievable. You see it, and you're like, "What the hell?" And then it's just it's like,
Holy fuck,
Um,
that would trip me out.
Yeah, we used to have my old phone. I don't have it anymore, but we would up at TPC in the locker room. There was like a lot of space, and there was a table. And if it would get cold in the winters, we just like set our phone up and video our matches, and just some of the most epic rallies ever in there. It's so much fun. I love it.
We're gonna have to get you guys in here. We have a unreal ping pong setup in our we call it Stool Streams, where we stream all like ping pong tournaments. We do Jenga, rock paper scissors. It's like basically a stadium, a turf stadium inside our office. And we have some
There's like an
fucking
announcer's booth and shit.
we have some battles, man. So if you got together some guys on an off week, like the best ping pong players on tour, and you guys were playing like, I don't know, Liberty or something, you're in town, you got to do a tournament.
We'll
here.
put a full on tournament. on.
Oh, announcers, dude!
Okay.
There's fucking
Hey,
replays.
that won't be that hard to do. You just got to make sure everyone's in the area.
Dude, there's replays like on the net, so like when we want to challenge,
You can
something,
tell, yeah,
it's
that's
crazy, man. Slow mo, like we've played some serious games in there, so it's a lot of fun. Don't forget about that. Like, make sure you reach out to us. If
Well,
you're gonna be in there.
hey, bro, I probably will forget. So you
All right.
don't forget.
All right, we'll see.
We will bring it up.
Yeah,
It's
all
our
right.
job.
Well, I'm the
All right.
biggest forgetter, so I tried to throw it on you, and then you threw it right back on me. I was a reverse.
We'll remember.
There was a time in ping pong where I would tell these guys on tour, like, man, if I take my Adderall, there's no chance you will beat me today at ping pong. Like, there's just no chance. I'm just gonna dominate.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's awesome. You know. All right. Well, good luck in good luck
Thanks.
in
Yeah,
Seattle. And I'm
nice
excited.
nice talking to you guys. Nice meeting y'all.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
me
this
too.
was a
Let's
pleasant
do little-
surprise, man. You were very, just not what I expected. Yeah, I'm
You got a
excited.
great
What do you think?
personality.
What do you think I was gonna be?
I don't know.
never know.
You just never know with
Some
guys.
just
I don't know. That fucking
bag
stuck
of rice
up.
or something?
Yeah, bag of rice.
But I knew, and we knew as soon as you came running up here from surfing, you got great energy, great energy.
Thanks.
Nice head of hair on you too.
Yeah.
You take pride in that, don't
Yeah,
you?
you're a
Thank
good-looking
you.
guy.
There's nothing in here, bro. This is just the way
What
it
are you
is.
talking about? It's just the way it is. You got no product in there?
I swear to God, yeah.
Oh shit, you're
That's
blessed.
just natural surfer hair, huh?
Just it's what it is.
I wouldn't even
man.
call it surfer hair. It's just like
No.
cool guy hair.
Stop.
It's fucking cool guy hair.
All
Frankie's
right.
in love.
All right, turn this thing off.
wanna fuck
before
him
this
there,
thing
Frank? Is that what's
let's
going
cut this
on?
thing off before this thing gets fucking
You
weird.
gotta fly to Florida to do that.
I'll make sure I put my chapstick on.
Well,
All right, now we're getting weird.
right.
See what I'm saying? It's getting fucking weird now.
All right. Thanks
End
for
the
the
phone.
time, man.
Thanks, dude.
All
See you
right,
around.
Yeah.
See you, boys.
He doesn't know what
See
to
you,
take.
Matt.
from that.
Thank you.
Later.